Hey guys, this is Nirmal for Technique.com, and let's have a detailed review of the XOLO Q900 smartphone, which is powered by Android. So it's a low-end Android phone with a decent specs. So let's first have a look at the specs of the device. So it supports 1.2 GHz quad-core MTK 6589 the MediaTek processor, and there's a 4.7-inch HD display with 312 ppi, and there's also an 8 megapixel autofocus rear camera with LED flash. It also has a 2 megapixel camera at the front. Then it does recording at full HD, that's 1080p. Then it's a dual SIM phone, 3G plus 2G. One SIM supports 3G, the second SIM is 2G. Then there's 1 GB of RAM and 4 GB internal memory, and expandable up to 32 GB of memory by SD card. Then there's a normal accelerometer, proximity sensor, and the ambient light sensor along with the magnetometer. It comes with Android 4.2 out of the box, and there's also a 1800 mAh lithium polymer battery. There's also Bluetooth version 4.0 and assisted GPS. So that's the quick specs of the device. So now let's have a look at the design. So the design wise, the XOLO Q900 does not stand out of the crowd because it's a standard design. The design isn't very impressive, but the build quality is really good. So you can see the plastic quality is really good. The design, although not may not be refreshing, the plastic quality is really good. You can see it's a glossy finish, and the quality of plastics is really good. It's pretty solid as well. And the design wise, you have the front camera at the top, then you have the earpiece speaker, the three capacitive buttons at the bottom, then the power button on the right side, along with a volume rocker on the left side. The top houses the USB as well as micro USB, as well as the 3.5 mm jack. Bottom you don't have anything, and at the back you can see the 8 megapixel camera along with the flash and the XOLO branding, as well as the speakers at the bottom. So it's a removable back cover. You can pull the back cover from here, and you can see the dual SIM tray available. So, and you can also expand the memory from here using the micro SD card. So removing this is pretty fairly simple. So just pull it out from here, and you can see this the plastic casing is pretty hard, and it's pretty good build quality. So it's really good build quality, but the design could have been better. It's an aspiring design. It's a traditional design. We have seen much better design in this category. So design wise it does not make an impression, but the build quality is really good. And you can see the dual SIM, one is 3G SIM, one is 2G SIM, and also the micro SD card support, which can be used to expand your storage. Now that's in the design aspect. Now coming on to the screen display. So this house is a 4.7-inch HD display. There is no full HD, so it's the 780p 720p display, and the viewing angles are fairly decent but not the best we have seen on devices. So the display is pretty decent. The color reproduction is also pretty fairly decent, but the viewing angles could have been better. When you twist the device, it become darker on the edges. So this does not have any IPS display. It's a fairly simple LCD display. So the viewing angles are not that great, but display is pretty decent. Now coming on to the performance of the device. So this comes with 1 GB of RAM and Android 4.2 out of the box, and it runs on the quad-core processor. So the UI on the device is fairly simple. There's not much of customization, so you get almost the core Android experience. So the experience is very similar to what you find on the core Android. So it's just another phone with a core Android kind of an experience. So the UI customization is fairly simple, and then that's the reason probably the device is pretty responsive and fast as well. So you can see the icons are very simple, and it looks very similar to the standard UI of Android. And there you have the widget supports. So you can see when you press and hold back the home screen twice, you can see the different home screens. So you can add one more, and the maximum is up to 7 of them. 7 home screens can be added from here, and you can select them. So that's the thing in that's how this device performs in the UI. I mean, the UI is fairly simple, and you have this side widget where you can customize the apps, and which can be accessed pretty quickly. You can edit it from here and add. So this is very similar to what you find on the Galaxy Note 3 or S4, where you have this side widget which can be used to access quickly access applications. Now the notification bar is same as that of the Android. You have all the display, I mean all the options like airplane mode, Wi-Fi, data connection, Bluetooth, audio, brightness, auto rotate, etc. So the icons are slightly changed, but overall it looks fairly simple. And you have the settings also. Settings are also very similar to the what you get on core Android. Now coming on to apps, there are quite a few apps from XOLO which is powered on this device. One is XOLO Power. So this allows you to quickly this allows you to get better out of your battery. So there is night mode, there's low battery mode, then the sync frequency, etc. So you can get a detailed battery of this device and how much it lasts, estimation, I mean the 2G calling, 3G calling, etc. So it provides an estimation of how much is remaining and how much you can get out of this. So that's one good app from XOLO. Then you have the XOLO Care app you can get for warranty registration. Then you have the XOLO Security app. So this is a pretty a good app. It protects your mobile phones and backs up your data to the cloud. So you need a valid SIM and internet connection to proceed. Then you can sign into Google account and start the process. So you can see here the XOLO Power app running at the background. So it shows you the remaining time battery available on the device. So that's all in the performance side. So now coming on to the gaming performance, we talked about the UI and the performance. So the UI and performance is really responsive since it does not have any customization on top of the Android. Very fairly simple customization, so it's pretty fast as well. Now coming on to the gaming performance, so the gaming performance, although it does have 1 GB of RAM and quad-core processor, it was in that impressive. We tried playing Asphalt. We have already uploaded the video on our channel. The Asphalt performance was not that great. There was quite a lot of skipping of frames while playing it. So it's not a device which you can do heavy gaming. For casual gaming, this is pretty okay, but for games like Asphalt and heavy graphic rich game, this might not be the recommended device. So that's the gaming performance. Now let's have a look at the camera. So this comes with a 8 megapixel autofocus camera. So you can see, we'll just show you the camera demo. So you can see here there are quite a lot of features available. There's a beauty phase, there's an HDR, there's a panorama mode, then you have a scene mode. So quite a lot of features available. So there's an auto capture while smile is detected. Then you have the scene mode, multi-angle, there's panorama, beauty phase, HDR, and then the ability to take normal photos. Then you have the buttons for capturing as well as recording. You can switch to front facing camera and also select the flash. Now on the settings, you have a few options like color effects, scene mode, white balance, etc. Then there's also continuous shot. You can select the picture size, then also the preview size. Then there's face detection, and on video side you can record up to 1080p and also set a time lapse interval, fx, etc. So the camera is pretty decent. It's 80 megapixel shooter. It's a pretty capable phone. I mean, when compared to the competition, it is competition in this range, it's pretty decent device. So it can shoot pretty decent photos. So we have tested the video recording abilities of this phone, and you can check out our YouTube channel for that video demo, I mean the video sample from this phone. So overall we feel that the 8 megapixel shooter with LED flash is pretty good. So you can see here the 8 megapixel camera at the back. So it's a pretty good camera for its price, and it does take good photos. Don't expect too much from this camera because it's fairly simple camera and not much of an features included in the camera phone. So you can get a pretty decent camera. You can touch to focus and get best shots. So that's how the camera performance. Now coming on to the battery. The battery on this device is around 1800 mAh battery, and we tested the battery, and it came up to last up to a day of usage. So the battery performance could have been better because it should have got a bigger battery, and the performance is fairly simple. You get 1 day of usage with the average a normal average normal user. And if you're a hardcore user, you may not get 1 day of usage because it's not a very powerful battery. but still it's a fairly decent battery out there. And this um, Zodo Power app allows you to get better of your battery by displaying the amount of battery power remaining on your phone. And the call quality was pretty good, and even the 3G speeds on the device was pretty good. So overall, we feel this device is pretty decent for its price, except for the design, which we feel looks a bit dated. There's an inspiring design here, but the build quality is really impressive, and it has a good, I mean, the average display, a good decent camera, and a decent battery life. Although the design could have been better. So overall, we feel it's. The performance also, again, we said the gaming performance is not that great, even though it does have decent hardware. So performance wise it could have been better, and also the battery performance could have been improved with a higher battery. So that's all in the review. If you have any questions on this device, do shoot a comment and we'll be glad to help you out. And thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest updates and also the latest videos from mobile phones. Thanks for watching the video.